Well, good morning.
Good evening. I'm a bit sleepy because I've been cooking all day, so bear with me.
Oh, what goodness and goodies and deliciousness have you been cooking?
It's been a marmalade day.
Oh,
I don't know whose idea it was for me to make so much marmalade. It's like the devil's work.
oh no.
I'm just like, no more marmalade, please.
It sounds like a lot of work to make marmalade.
It's a lot of shredding.
A lot of shredding.
Shred. Yes, you just have to hope there's something good on the radio that day.
Oh, I like that. I love
my woes. Enough of my woes. I'm not moaning.
No, because your marmalade's fantastic. So thank you.
Yeah.
Those of us that eat your marmalade appreciate all your hard work because it's delicious. It is delicious. So today we're doing something a little different.
We're going a little bit avant-garde.
Yes, we're going rogue. We're going rogue.
Yeah, rogue. Avant-garde might be a bit dodgy. I don't know. I might be a little wrong word there.
Yeah. Clothes are staying on. There's going to be no painting of any kind.
Yeah. Sorry, that's just me being a little bit out of it. Sorry. I'll let Lisa do the talking today.
Okay. So today, instead of a guest, we are our guests because we wanted to share. There's so many good cookbooks out there. So we thought it'd be fun to share with our viewers our 5, which is very hard because you and I have a lot of cookbooks. just to put it, and that's like an understatement because everything, if you guys can all see it, that back there, you can't actually even see, I have boxes in the garage of cookbooks.
Snap.
So we thought it'd be fun.
I'm a cookbookaholic.
Yeah. Oh, I love cookbooks. Oh, that's the first section I go to. I love a bookstore. I've always loved to read.
Yes. Snap.
Yeah. I've always loved to read. Yeah. Before social media, there were books. And that's what I would do. Like any road trip. Like I remember writing errands with my mom. I would always have a book. Always know.
Well, when you come to the UK, we'll make a special journey and go down to Hay-on-Wye. Have you ever been to Hay-on-Wye when you've been out to Europe?
No.
Google Hay-on-Wye because Hay-on-Wye, every year they have the most fantastic literary festival. the town of bookshops. It's just amazing place, and it's just no distance from me at all. So and it's a lovely place to visit. So we'll put that
definitely doing that. Okay, definitely doing that. Definitely. That sounds wonderful. I love that. Okay,
a lot of people in this country will know about it, Hay-on-Wye Festival, but put it on your bucket list, miss. It is on my bucket list.
It is on my bucket list. Well, and when you come visit me, we'll go to 2 of my favorite local bookstores, Elliott Bay Books, which is a fabulous bookstore over in Seattle. It's been around for, oh my gosh, decades. And it has the most incredible, like you walk in and it has the old floors, like the wood floors, and the smell is just like books. And they have the most knowledgeable people. Like you can go and get any kind of book you want there. It's one of my absolute favorite bookstores. And then for cookbooks, there's the Book Larder, which is a locally owned bookstore.
Oh, lovely.
And it's only cookbooks, and it's small and it's intimate, and they have, pre-COVID, and hopefully they'll be bringing it back again, but they would have cooking demonstrations. You could go and there would be people there that would be, had just written a cookbook, or their cookbook would be, doing their tour, the book tour. And then
that's where we must launch our cookbook.
Yes. Oh, that'd be so much fun. Yes.
Wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
It's done. It's a deal.
Check the box.
You heard it first here.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
It would be, wouldn't it?
That'd be really fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be okay.
Okay, sorry. Tangent alert. I'm going to get a bell by the computer and go, tangent alert.
Oh, I love that. We went this way, and now we went this way.
How far did we get in explaining what we're actually going to do?
I think we got to the point.
We were talking about cookbooks.
So we're going to share. It was hard to narrow down my 5 favorite because I have so many favorites. So I picked based on like a staple cookbook that I've had, oh my gosh, it was a wedding gift. And it is a cookbook that in the States is a standard cookbook that most people get when they move out of their house, when they get married, when they're kind of starting to get into cooking and they have to cook for themselves. Shall I show you what it is? Or are we going to take turns?
I've got a pen here in case I want to order any of them.
So people in the United States will know this book, The Joy of Cooking. It's been in print since, I think since like the 50s. I'd have to go back and look. I mean, it is like thick like an encyclopedia. It is really good. Like, it's really good, just basics. Like if you want like a good lemon chicken, a good crepe recipe, a good steak recipe, you know, it's really, really good for someone who's beginning. And it's also really good for someone that is an experienced home cook too. And all the recipes always turn out really deliciously and easy to follow directions. And I was looking here, I think it's been, copyright 1931 was the first printing. So it's been around a while. Yeah.
It's a bit like Mrs. Beaton then.
Yeah, 1931. And this is, I guess it hasn't, 1997. 1997. Well, this would make sense because it was a wedding present. So love this cookbook. It is a really good staple.
Similar things over here. We've obviously got Mrs. Beaton's, which is a bit old fashioned. We've got something like Adelia Smith. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's got something very similar. And my go-to, which I nearly included, which is a very similar thing, is by Darina Allen, and it's the Ballymaloe. I might have mispronounced that. Apologise if I have. Cookery book, and that's a doorstep. And they've got a cookery school in Ireland, and that's on my bucket list. I would love to go there.
That sounds amazing. I will meet you there.
Fab. It's a date. I've got something to ask you. I've got you a favour because I've still got 7 books here.
7? We said 5.
So, number 1, can we do this again at Christmas and I can get rid of that one?
Absolutely. I love her though.
We're going to,
love Nigella.
Yeah. So Christmas, it will be, she's mad. So my first book, and I've had this a long time as well.
I've got a pen to write it down.
You can always tell a good book because there's always going to be lots of paper sticking out of it. And this one, I don't know if you can see that.
The complete book of homemade preserves.
By Jill Nice. And it's a very basic book. It's just no nice pictures to look at. But you just go through it and you will find a recipe for everything in here because it is just absolutely fabulous. And it goes through in alphabetical order all of your fruits and vegetables. So if you've got a glut of plums, you would just go to plums. I've just got borage there. So it's even got your herbs, your lychees, your loganberries and hazelnut. And it will give you a recipe to preserve them. This is one of my go-to books when it comes to creating new recipes and getting ideas and inspiration. So I highly recommend this one. I have no idea if it is still in print, but you might well be able to pick it up from a second-hand independent bookshop.
Right.
First published 1982 by William Collins. So we'll put the ISBNs, shall we?
Yes, we'll put all the links. We'll put the name and we'll put the names of all the books that we're talking about below. And if there are links to buy them, we'll put the links. And if there are no links, we'll put like a recommendation because I know that I know in the Seattle area there's half price books. You might find them like you said, like a resale.
We've got quite a few really good independent secondhand sites that you can find great books through. But there you go, The Complete Book of Homemade Preserves by Jill Nice. Perfect name for an author.
I love that. And I love that it doesn't have, because The Joy of Cooking doesn't have any photos either. And I think, because I do love photos in books, but I love that sometimes you just don't need them because all the knowledge is in the book. And
that's an interesting thing. You should say that because I actually don't tend to cook the recipes out of glitzy, glossy books with lovely photos. I'm more likely to cook a recipe.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Interesting. I think for me, it's more, I'm more tempted to try a recipe that maybe I've not heard of before or something that's unusual if I see a photo of it, because then it's like, oh, that looks really delicious.
Yeah.
And the opposite can be true too, where I can be flipping through a cookbook with photos and see a photo and say, I don't think I'm gonna cook that.
The thousands of cookery books I've got, I rarely pick one up to cook from. I just read them.
Yeah. Oh, I do love to read them.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is the same way. When she comes to visit, she'll sit and read a cookbook just like you would read a novel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do love that.
I love that too.
Yeah.
I love that too.
Alrighty, next one. That's your first one. All right, I am going to go, okay, so sometimes vegetables can be really boring and you're tired of cooking the same old roasted carrots. So whenever I'm looking for inspiration on like a new vegetable recipe or something new to try or a new kind of combination of ingredients.
I'm liking the build up. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's such a brilliant cover.
Isn't that gorgeous? And this actually, I took out some Post-its because it was literally my cookbooks, when I use them is either lots of Post-its or the recipes that I use, because you can literally open the book and it'll go right to the recipe and there'll be splatter.
So
a little bit of oil. If it's baking, there'll be like a dried flour, sugar.
Yeah.
And he has the most gorgeous, let's see if I can get to he has the most gorgeous, look at that. The most gorgeous photos in his books. Oopsie.
He's quite a gorgeous man as well. Am I allowed to say that?
He really is. Correct. You can absolutely say it. I would totally agree. It's like, this is like a kohlrabi noodle salad. How amazing does that look?
Oh.
And kohlrabi is something that maybe people don't cook with a lot or might be a little cautious. And now I do love him very much. Sometimes it's very tricky to find his ingredients. So I always I'm always switching up ingredients, or I'll leave something out. But I kind of feel like that's a recipe too. Like, I love to use recipes as diving boards that you don't necessarily need to have all the ingredients. If you're missing a couple ingredients, you can either substitute, leave something out. It's still going to be delicious. So this one actually,
that's one of the restaurants we'll visit in London. We'll go to his restaurant. I passed him once in Camden Town, actually. And I'm sounding like a name dropper, and I'm really not. But I went to see him at Abergavenny Food Festival, and he was really as well. Really enjoyed watching him demonstrate with his partner.
I get all choked up when you talk about Ottolenghi. He's fantastic. No, this is one of my.
Well, I'm sure I've got that book, but it's a plain white cover.
Oh, really?
That I've got.
I've got a couple of his books, but it even says in the front cover, level up your vegetables. So this is when I'm looking for something fresh and new, or a new vegetable, or I pick something up in the market or the farmer's market, maybe a vegetable that I'm like, I'd love to try and see what kind of combination flavors I can use with this.
That's your go-to.
My go-to. And
I love that.
My book number 2.
Okay, so we're on to my book number 2. Now, this one is a bit of a collective because it's a year at Avoca, which is a cafe stroke bistro, I believe, in Ireland again. I'm levitating towards Ireland for somebody that's never been to Ireland.
I'm writing this down.
I've got 3. This is book number 3, I think. Yes. And I've got the first 2, and I have to say, all of them are cracking books. Really good recipes, good standbys, and they're all the recipes that they actually make and do. I've got my little pieces of paper.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
That's partly how I chose my books, because I went through and I thought, actually, if they've got lots of bits of paper stuck in them, they've got to be good, haven't they?
Exactly.
So
it's true.
I recommend this highly to anybody, any of the first 3. And all sorts of recipes, from desserts to salads to quiches to, simple fare, but with great flavour. I haven't cooked anything out of any of their books that I haven't enjoyed, which is a real commendation. So a year at Avoca, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Again, apologies, a cookbook. and this is number 3, but 1 and 2 are equally as good.
I love that. I love that you're going gravitating to Ireland, a country that I also like to visit because we have so many Irish. We've got lots of Irish roots. Is that the way you put it? No. Yeah. There's lots of Irish. Yeah, both
ancestry.
Sides. Yeah, both sides. More so on Mark's side than my side, I think, a bit, because his mom is half Irish and half English. Right. Yeah. So her mom was Irish, her father was English. So he's got even more Irish in him than I do.
I don't know if I've got any Irish, but I've definitely got Welsh, and that's heading in that direction.
You're going in the right direction. So I think you're right.
I'm happy to become, I do like Guinness.
Oh, see, I don't. Guinness is too strong. If I need to do a beer, you're probably, if you like Guinness, you're not going to like my answer to this one though, but I like more of the amber, the golden kind of, the Hefeweizen. So I like a golden.
Yeah, but I can make a Guinness last an awfully long time.
They're like a meal, and they're like literally like just drink a meal. Just.
Yeah.
All right, shall I go to my number 3, which
I'm really excited about? This is like Christmas. Lots of Post-its in this one.
Lots of Post-its. Love Diana Henry. Simple.
Oh, yes.
And again, gorgeous.
Oh, I'm going to write this one down. Diana Henry. Photos.
Diana Henry. Gorgeous and really unusual recipes, kind of really fun ingredients. How
beautiful
gorgeous is that?
Photography.
Baked sweet potato, chorizo, mushrooms, and egg. Just gorgeous. And not every recipe has this is really good. I've made this a bunch of times. Isn't that good? This is the pork chops with mustard and capers. Yeah, pork chops with mustard and capers. Just beautiful. All of her recipes turn out.
What's the name of the book? And I'm going to write this one down.
Simple.
Perfect.
And it really is. It is. Oh, and speaking of fantastic authors, she has reviews from Nigella and Yotam on the back.
The in crowd. What can I say?
So I love this book. I love this book for its beauty, for its simplicity, for its combination of she reminds me a lot of Yotam Ottolenghi in terms of how she creates such tremendous flavor with her use of ingredients and spices. And it's not complicated. I mean, her recipes are not complicated to follow. The recipes are really well written, because one of my biggest pet peeves in cookbooks is ingredients and recipes that aren't well written, where like the ingredients are confusing, or there'll be an ingredient list and you'll be searching in the directions for, okay, well, I just chopped that onion. Where do I put the onion? And she writes beautifully.
Yeah.
Super simple instructions to follow, beautiful recipes.
Great experience under her belt, hasn't she? And lots of Post-its.
And lots of Post-its. I love Diana Henry.
This book, talking about splattered.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see how splattered.
It's so splattered. Oh, I love that.
Look at us.
More Post-its.
We're not joined at the hip or anything, are we? We didn't plan this.
Oh my God. Great minds think alike.
This is a book from Hummingbird Bakery. I have another book.
I've heard of Hummingbird Bakery.
They are based, they've got a bakery in London. And I used to do quite a lot of cake decorating for my sins. And this was a brilliant go-to book for, I'm just checking what I've put my Post-its in. This one. And talk about splatters, sticky toffee cupcakes. That is just a recipe to die for. I can highly recommend that.
Oh God, that sounds amazing.
They're Brooklyn.
I'm writing this down.
Cake, have I got that right? Brooklyn blackout. I feel like
Brooklyn
I've got that
blackout.
wrong. I don't know why.
I feel like, do they have a location in New York? I feel like I've heard the name.
They might well do.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
But what I like about this book particularly, because I have had books that I've been less enamored with, is that it's very precise with its instructions. because they're
I love that.
complicated recipes. You know, they're not basic stick it, you know, one mix in a mixer and then pour it in your pan.
Right.
It's a much more complicated procedure, but it's so precise. And you can tell that they are obviously Virgos.
I love that.
Because they absolutely, like, after 3 minutes, reduce the temperature by 3 degrees. And they're spot on with their, which you should be with baking, really, to get the best results. And if you choose to go a little bit off-piste, you can do. Often see these books. There's one that's slightly thinner that's excellent as well, and I have that and probably would have chosen that if I could have found it. But I often find these books reduced in bookshops, and don't. This is just for people that are buying. Just don't disregard it. It's not reduced because it's not good. It's an excellent cookbook if you like to bake.
Love that.
I've got to start whittering down now because I've still got 4 here, so
I'm
got some tough decisions to make.
Okay, which one do I? Okay, I'm going to do. Okay, so a tiny little background. My godmother was French. I think I told you this. So my godmother was my grandmother's best friend. She only spoke French to me growing up. I've always loved French food, French cuisine, French people, going to France, living in France, visiting France, all things France. I'm a Francophile. I would live in France half the year if I could, and then we'll pop over and see you all the time, which would be so amazing. So I
vice versa, indeed.
Exactly. Come on, visit. So I love this cookbook, and I did take out some Post-its. Some of the Post-its kind of slipped in, but I've got a couple. These kind of slipped down, and there were more. I think this book I've kind of folded pages down. But I love David Nisbet, My Paris Kitchen. And now he is not a French chef. He is an American. He is an American that lives in France. But I love his take on French recipes. He's remarkably on spot when it comes to French recipes. He has a really wonderful aesthetic in terms of how he approaches food and how he approaches cooking. He's just a fun person too. He did lives every single day during COVID when the pandemic first hit. He would go live every single day cooking cocktails from his Drinking French. So that's another cookbook we'll do that for cocktails. But he also has
that's right up your street. Oh.
But he also has beautiful, I mean, you want to just dive in. You want to just grab a spoon and just dive in. And this cookbook I tend to go to when it's winter, when I want something hearty and one pot, and his French onion soup is to die for. But I love how because some French recipes, French cooking is not necessarily, it's not difficult, but it can be very time consuming. Like to make a proper beef bourguignon. I mean, you've got to take care to really brown the meat really well. And it takes a while to kind of make that beautiful sauce and that beautiful stew meat. And I love that he respects the recipes really well and really beautifully versus here's a shortcut, buy this, buy that. It's just really well written. And I just love him. I mean, he's fun. There's another little,
my
picture?
word.
I know. Salt cod fritters with tartar sauce. Or wait a second, but you say it tartar sauce?
No, tartar. Tartar sauce. Tartar sauce.
Okay.
Tartar sauce. I had to think then.
But I mean, there's also a lot of chat about mixing and matching, marrying American cuisine and French cuisine. So it's definitely one of the cookbooks you actually do really want to read because there's really wonderful stories of his time in France.
Does he still live in France?
He still lives in France. Yeah, he still lives in Paris. So there's also just really wonderful stories of him and his time in professional kitchens because he is a professional chef, just not a French chef. And again, I just looked. Yotam has given a lovely little.
He gets about.
Yeah, he really does.
I don't know how he fits in what he does because he does a weekly recipe bit in the Observer newspaper over here, and I mean he's so busy. I have And so active on social media as well, isn't he? Constantly seen.
Exactly. Oh, and one more thing too. If anyone watching has always been like wanting to try French cuisine, but feels like it's kind of out of reach, this cookbook is brilliant. It's really well written and makes French cuisine and French cooking
more accessible.
Absolutely accessible, for sure. Regardless of where you are, whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate, whether you're like wherever you fall on the range of home cooks. So yeah.
How many have we had so far? Are we
So I did 4, so I have 1 left. Yeah.
So this is 4. Okay, I'm making decisions here. It's like losing my babies. It's like giving up my children.
Well, we can do another one. We can do this. Can be a new series.
We're gonna have to.
This could be like our favorites, and then we can do like our favorite, maybe different cuisines. We can do our favorite baking. Like we can.
Okay, I am. Please do not take offense, Mary Berry, but I'm gonna. Sorry. You're we will. Right.
We never saw that.
Now, I have lots of cookbooks. I don't know about you, by celebrity chefs that I love flicking through. They're always fun. But these guys kill me, and you probably haven't come across them because they are just a scream. And I love watching them on television. They've done loads of programs. They're really popular. And it is the Hairy Bikers.
Oh my God, I love that. That's awesome.
They're fabulous.
I've never heard of them.
You should go on to the BBC or something and track down some of their series because they've done loads.
Okay, I definitely need to. Okay.
And they are so much fun. They're a lovely couple of guys.
I love it.
And they're amateur chefs. They're not professional chefs, and this one is quite an early book, this one. Mum Knows Best. And
I love that.
A collection of recipes from different mothers. Oh, look, they were all the people that they went to see.
Oh, I love that.
I know, it's so cool. And I love all their recipes, but in this particular book, oh, look at them. You could want to take them over and show them meeting Mum.
Oh my God. Okay, I love that.
I'm slightly in love, you can tell, can't you? But this, they didn't take claim for this recipe, or claim, whatever the word is. Anyway, it was a recipe that was handed to one of them in a shop. Somebody saw them and said, "Oh, I've got to give you a book," and it is absolutely one of the best cake recipes that I have ever made, and it is a sticky date cake.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
I mean, I'm going to come in closer because you can see.
Look at the splatters. All the splatters.
It's a very well used recipe. It's one that I use for when I used to do a bit of catering for parties and things, and everybody absolutely loved it. It's got a condensed milk in there that sweetens it, and it makes it lovely and moist, and it's been long overdue. I need to cook it again, actually, because it's a delicious recipe.
That sounds really good.
I take my hat off to these guys because they're just really fun, and they make cooking fun, and
as it should be.
As it should be. Engaging, and it's just a joyful thing to watch them. So I take my hat off to them, to Si and Dave. Hairy Bikers, I love you to bits.
I love that. I wonder, well, and you never know, they might see this.
Well, yes.
Wouldn't it be fabulous to have some of these fabulous cookbook authors on our show? I'm just going to throw it out there.
And you know, they are just the sort of guys that would do that because they're really grounded, they're fun, they'd rock up on their bikes.
I love that.
When you're over, we'll say, "Hey, Si, Dave, let's do a program together."
I'm so in for that. I'm so in for that.
Okay, I'll wing off an email.
You do that. Go wing off an email. All right. So for my final, this was hard. And again,
it is hard.
And again, there's Post-its, but I've also folded over pages of this one. So this cookbook goes back to when I was first discovering food blogs. And it was one of the very first food blogs I actually started reading on a regular basis and cooking their recipes. And they've done 2 cookbooks. So I believe this was the second one. I'm pretty sure this is the second one. And it's Food 52 Genius Recipes. And what's really fun
as well.
What's really fun is, what's really fun about this that makes these recipes genius is they have unusual techniques or unusual ingredients that you wouldn't think work together, or would be so simple that you're like, okay, that would actually, how could that possibly be like delicious? And then you cook it and it's like, oh, wow, like their English porridge.
Oh, right. How do they make their English porridge then, I wonder?
They, well, this is actually from April Bloomfield's cookbook. So sometimes they'll take from,
just give credit.
Contributors. I think they also have contributors too. And they literally take whole milk, mulled and salt, rolled oats, steel oats, and a little bit of sugar to make porridge. So, and then they have like biscuits, oh my gosh, this chocolate, I'm going to butcher the name, Muscovado banana. I mean, it is to die for. And my kids do not like any form of banana cake. They gobble this up. It's so good. It's just,
I think you've posted that fairly recently.
I think I posted it. And I was thinking, I think that there is also, I mean, just simply too, like just chicken thighs with lemon. Like literally all you do is take chicken thighs, salt and pepper them, put them in a cast iron pan with some lemon, get the skin nice and crispy, flip them over in your, like just simple recipes, and recipes that also include like, hey, different uses of ingredients like this. Oh, love this one. Grilled char stems with anchovy vinaigrette. Because a lot of times people throw out the stems.
Yes.
And look at how gorgeous that is.
That does sound delicious, doesn't it?
And I think a lot of people
we were talking about Pamela Chen's recipe with the cabbage and cutting out the core, and
exactly.
And she didn't. She crushed it and it went into the salad.
Exactly. I think a lot of people too are like, oh, anchovies, I don't want it to taste fishy. Nope. Doesn't taste fishy at all. Oh, this is really,
presumably they could use capers if
that's a whole roasted cauliflower with a whipped goat cheese.
Oh, nice.
So just again, like really cool different ingredients, some super simple, some recipes are a little bit more work to do, but again, like easy to follow directions, delicious recipes. I love little inspiration. I love tuning into my genius recipes. And then look at the picture on the back.
I love the photography in them all. The photography in cookery books these days is just outstanding, isn't it?
I do love
outstanding.
Yeah, I do love it. So yeah, those are mine. It was hard. I did feel like I was picking favorite children. It was very hard.
Yes. Yeah, I do. And I've got 2 left here, and I've still got to make the decision. The one,
drum roll,
Post-its, but I might.
We'll do this again.
Personally little cookery book. It's what.
Oh, that's on my bucket list. I want to go there. We were going to go there when we were in London, and the rail was all, I think they had closed it all up, and there was some strike or something, so we couldn't take the tube there.
Borough Market, one of my favorite places in the world. Love it.
Want to go there.
I nearly had a stall there a while back, representing Herefordshire. So
that'd be brilliant.
I need to see if they're going to do that again. But I do love Borough Market. But
I'm excited. I can't wait to see who made the cut.
I'm just stroking it. Okay, drum roll, please.
Oh, Restaurant Nathan. Oh, what a really cool cover.
It's very soft, cool. And it's got it's like fish scales.
Oh, very cool cover. Very
expensive cool. Book, actually.
It's gorgeous. Oh, did he sign it for you?
This is a restaurant I would love to go to. Seafood restaurant down in Cornwall, which has been heavily in the news recently for the G7 conference, or
the summit, the whole
That's where they were, in Cornwall. So there's Nathan Outlaw. Look, first best buddies. And he
Love
is
that picture.
But I've never cooked anything out of this book because I don't want to get any splatters on it.
You have to keep it far away from, just keep it in a different room, and then it's gonna run back and forth to like refer to the recipe.
I just look at it. Look at these recipes. They are just staggering. This cookbook is an investment, I have to say. It's just one of those things that you would absolutely.
Look, that looks gorgeous. Is that squid I saw? That's gorgeous.
Yeah, red mullet, squid salad with courgette and fennel. I should really explain what they are, shouldn't I? Salt cod, lobster scampi and lobster sauce.
Oh my God, that looks gorgeous.
I mean,
this is making me really hungry.
Well, yes, it's supper time here and I haven't eaten. So, I mean, truly, it's just glorious. And the photography, late autumn in Cornwall, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful book. I commend him for having the courage to do it, really, because it's not a cheap book.
Yeah.
Dover sole with clams, parsley and garlic. I mean, golly, gosh. That was my mum talking then. Golly, gosh.
I love that. Golly, gosh. That looks amazing.
So, yeah, absolutely. Dark chocolate mousse with stout cake. We've just been talking about Guinness. Milk ice cream and blood orange. I mean, look at it. It's just so
gorgeous. The photography is absolutely gorgeous in that book. What a beautiful... I'm not surprised you were stroking that book.
It's just a lovely thing to own.
That is gorgeous.
It's an investment piece. It's like a coffee table book, really. Yeah. I adore it. I quite like it as well.
I can tell.
And it's definitely on my bucket list to go to his restaurant. So, although I haven't used it, it's one of my favourite books. So it makes it into my top 5.
I love that. Well, and I think that a cookbook doesn't necessarily have to be something you even cook from, but if it's just something that inspires you to get in the kitchen and cook, even if it's just a different recipe that you see.
It inspires me to go to Cornwall to his restaurant, is what
exactly. Well, cookbooks can be an escape, just like a travel book, just like a beautiful book on travel to a country or a place you've never been to before, but it's on your bucket list to go. And cookbooks can do the same thing. They can transport you someplace else.
Do you remember? I'm sorry, I've gone off. Oh,
go off. Go off.
Keep up. Do you remember a film called Fisherman's Friends? Was that popular in America? It's about a group of fishermen that start singing shanty songs. He was in that. Yeah.
Did not see that.
Oh, you ought to watch that. It's a good fun film.
Oh, okay.
And it's based in Cornwall, obviously.
Okay.
Fisherman's
Fisherman. Okay, I'm going to write that down. The show we did start watching the other night was Ted Lasso. Have you heard about that?
No.
So it's on Apple TV, but I think you can also get it on Netflix. I think it's won all these awards. It's a series. I think there's 10 episodes, and it's maybe 40-minute episodes. But it's I forget the main actor. But the premise is a very small town football coach from the United States.
Yeah.
It's hired to coach a football team in England, which is definitely very different from the football we play here.
Yeah, soccer.
And just like the communication, like
it's a bit like us with our recipes.
Exactly. It is
ingredients.
So funny. It is so funny. Yeah, it's really cute. Then. Yeah, it's really, we watched 2 episodes last night, actually. We just started it because I've heard so much about it. And my kids played soccer growing up. So we love, well, or as you say, football. So,
yeah, well, we've got the European Cup going on at the moment over here. So it's all football. We've been watching
a little bit here and there. So, but it's really funny. And it's, oh gosh, okay, I'm looking on my phone really quickly just to see his name, because I think you might recognize the actor's name. And it's so funny. It's really, I'm wondering, well, he's Jason Sudeikis. Recognize that name?
Possibly. That doesn't mean anything. He's lovely.
He's very lovely.
It's
but
fun.
It's so funny. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. But yeah, just like you and I with like recipes and cooking, you know, he goes and what is it? He talks about the cleats and so he brings a coach with him from a friend of his, and his friend's like, they call them boots here. Oh, I thought that was the trunk of the car. It is. So what if I got fired and got stuck in the trunk of my car wearing my cleats? He says, you would have gotten the boot, wearing your boots, getting stuck in the boot.
I've never even heard that before. Cleats.
But cleats are what we call football, what you wear when you play football and soccer. It's the shoes that have like the little spikes at the bottom. It's what you wear. But you call them, I guess, boots?
Football boots.
Football boots. Yeah. Not here. They're cleats.
Where does that come from, though? Is it the noise they make as they walk, or?
I don't know, or maybe I don't know, but they're cleats. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting thing.
But it's
learning something new every day.
And we've gone off again. We've gone from cookbooks to TV shows to soccer and football.
With a whistle-stop tour, we've been to Paris, we've been to Cornwall, we've been up to Borough Market in London. Mm-hmm. We've been on the back of the Hairy Bikers' bikes, zooming around the country.
Yep. We've been on the first food blog I followed, to Paris, to, where is Yotam? I think Yotam is based he's in England, isn't he?
London.
He's in London. So we got back
He's definitely got a restaurant in Camden Town.
Yeah.
Because that's where I saw him, but I wasn't in his restaurant, sadly, at the time.
Well, but we'll go there together. We better make a list.
We gotta. Yes, I'm a bit forgetful. We should have a little list, a Lisa and Jane list.
Exactly. So so I love seeing your cookbooks. We'll put links below, like we talked about. So you guys can check out cookbooks too. This goes without saying, this is not sponsored. We are sharing this information because these are cookbooks we love and use all the time and are sponsored by.
And we love each other's company, so we just love talking to each other. So apologies if we get a bit self-indulgent, but we love each other so much, don't we?
Exactly.
Share the love, that's what we say. But we're on a mission to hit 10,000 subscribers, aren't we?
Exactly. So don't forget, click that like, subscribe button, and let us know in the comments what your favorite cookbook is.
Yes, please, because we just do this for the love of it.
Exactly.
So it'd be great to know that somebody's watching.
It would. Yes, it would. So you can hit the like and subscribe to let us know. Comment with your favorite cookbook, and we'll also put recipes below from our cookbooks that we love.
Yes.
Maybe a couple of our favorites. Links below.
I think mine is going to have to be the Hairy Bikers, isn't it?
I love that. I think mine might be Ottolenghi, or maybe David Leibovitz, my Paris kitchen. It's so hard to pick.
It is.
I think we'll do this again, though. Let us know by liking and commenting. You also let us know if you want to see more cookbook reviews. We can do cookbook reviews monthly and have like different themes of maybe different cuisines, or we can do like baking cookbooks. We can do,
absolutely, and Christmas, because of course poor Nigella might get the hump.
Oh yeah,
we don't want to upset Nigella.
No, because we'd love to have Nigella on sometime. Wouldn't that be fun?
Do you know what my nickname is?
What?
I probably shouldn't be sharing this.
I can't wait to find out. What's your nickname?
Yes, courtesy. It's a friend that named me Janella. I am Janella.
Janella.
Yes, I haven't got her vocabulary though. Don't. I'm set myself up for a big fall there, didn't I?
Oh, I love Nigella. Did you ever watch The Taste that she was on? It was the show she did. It was Ludo Lefebvre, who's a French chef, was on it, and so was Nigella. And who else? Oh my gosh, I don't think Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain might have been on it actually.
Heavyweights.
What a loss that was.
It doesn't ring a bell. I mean, her programs over here, they repeat it in America because they're mad. I mean, she is quite bonkers.
You have to kind of search it. I'm just looking for The Taste right now. It hasn't been on for a while. The premise was, it was really neat because they would, oh yeah, it's been a long time. Oh gosh, back in 2013, it was on 3 seasons. Anthony Bourdain was on it. Yeah, it was Anthony Bourdain, Nigella Lawson, and Ludo were 3 of the chefs that were on it, and they had a panel. And so the not participants, what's the word I'm looking for, and why can't I think of it? The competitors. The competitors
Oh, right. It's
would fix literally a bite of food. So it wasn't a plate or a bowl. It was literally like, it had to fit on a spoon, kind of like a soup spoon. And based on that, they, I think, got on someone's team, but it was literally based on like one bite of food. It was a really neat premise. Yeah, it was a really neat premise. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the funny things that she says, and they are.
She is funny.
She's mad. I have to mute her sometimes because it gets a bit much. What was it that she called a microwave? Microwavy.
Oh, you're right. She did.
Something really stupid.
Yes, it was microwavy or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. I remember that.
Anyway, we're being self-indulgent again, aren't we?
We are now. I guess we better go already.
Sorry.
It was lovely to see you.
Lovely having you, your company. Lovely having your company if anybody's watching.
Exactly. Lovely. Thank you for watching. We love seeing you guys, even though we can't literally see you, but we love having you here watching us. And we'll be back again. And what are we doing? And what's our, should we do a little promo for our next Friday's episode? So next Friday is July 2nd, which means almost 4th of July, which means it's time for our episode. Yeah, 4th of July, big, huge holiday here in the United States.
July.
I know. I don't know where June's gone. Don't even get me started. But we get our interview with Coco of Whiskey and Woof. And she's a fantastic, amazing candle atelier and makes these beautiful candles. They're all scented absolutely exquisitely. And she's married her love of dogs and her love of whiskey to create these beautiful candles. So we thought we would interview her, which was a super fun interview. And
a little bit different.
And we get to make a whiskey themed recipe. So that's next Friday. Any excuse. Throw some alcohol on in there.
We're easily pleased.
So that's next Friday. So if you're in the States watching, or if you're in the UK or Europe and you're looking for new whiskey-based recipes for your summer barbecues, tune in next Friday.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Be exciting. I'm looking forward to that one very much.
Me too. Alrighty.
Right. We're off again.
Lovely to see you.
And you have a lovely week, and we'll see you next Friday.
Yes, we'll see you next Friday. Bye for now.